Welcome back. Today we're going to be fixing a toilet that's running. If you look in the bowl here, you can see the water is trickling in. And you can tell by lifting the top off the tank and looking that it's filled up over the top. So this valve down inside is now leaking. So the tools for today are going to be pretty simple. Your slip joint pliers and a couple of towels. Now we'll get down to business here. We'll start with turning off the water. Always a good first step. Then we're going to flush the toilet. Now the key to remember here is to hold this so that it completely drains the tank. But having said that, your tank won't be completely drained. Which is why you need towels.
Put them down around the base where you're going to be removing the filter.
The fill.
Not the not the filter. You know what I mean. You put it down around there to prevent any of the water that will drip out from.
Now I'm using this style to hook up, but the procedure is pretty much the same for any style. So we'll start by making sure this is prepped. And then we're going to take slip joint pliers, and down here there's a plastic collar.
Let me see.
That we need to loosen off. Down here a little closer. See where it's working. Now it shouldn't take much to loosen this because it shouldn't be super tight. Loosen it, and then you can back it off by hand. This is where you're going to get some water. So that's when the rest of this tank tries to drain out. You get a little bit here, you get more when you actually take the valve out. Now these are nylon, so you want to be careful working with this stuff. Now there's another collar that holds the valve in place. When you pull this valve out, this is when all the rest of the water comes out of the bottom of the tank, which is why you need the towel handy. So that's the old one out.
And now we have the new one.
In with the new. Locking collar. Make sure you got the rubber gasket on the bottom of this. It's going to the bottom of the toilet, otherwise it will never seal. Now when you're tightening these up on the bottom, tighten them up as tight as you can, hand tight. And then you take the slip joint pliers and give them about a quarter turn. Not a lot, because if you over tighten them, you'll crack the bowl.
And then if you crack the bowl, then it doesn't really matter what new seal you put on there. It's always going to leak.
Well, that's what I'm saying. tight. Hook the water line back up. Now this nut you got to be careful because this you can very easily cross thread. So. And again with this one, tighten it as tight as you can, hand tight. And another quarter turn just to snug it up. There we go. Now what I like to do is I like to wipe everything down before I turn the water back on. That way you'll notice real quick if it's gonna leak. The other thing we need to do, this particular style has a I'm not sure where the hose goes on this one. Oh, right there. That was nothing big enough. Goes on there. Goes under there. If you have any issues with these, trying to get them on, a little soap will make it easier. And that little guy opens up. Slides right down there. That's what provides the extra water into the toilet bowl to top up the bowl after you flush. So now we'll turn it on slowly.
Starting to fill up.
And we've got a leak.
Uh-oh.
Something's not tight. That's not tight. The one on the bottom of the tank, I didn't get tight enough by hand. So a quarter turn wasn't enough. That's why you turn the water on slow to start, to make sure that...
Because if you were to just push it all the way up and it would start like gushing a ton of water and then, well, you'd very quickly have a flooded bathroom. Tighten, dries it off, and then slowly turn the water back on.
And see what we got this time. And this time we seem to be dry.
So slowly turn the water back up to full so I can refill the tank.
Now you'll notice in most of your tanks you'll see a mark like this on the back. That's where you should have the water level to. This one might have to be adjusted, we'll have to see. Yeah, it definitely needs to be adjusted. This one has a slip collar.
For anyone who thinks doing something like this and sticking their hand down the toilet is disgusting, it's the same water that comes out of your taps at this point in time. It only gets mixed with stuff that can be considered disgusting inside the toilet bowl.
Ooh. Now this particular one has a slip collar down near the bottom that you just slide up, click this up a couple notches, and put the slip collar back down to tighten it up. I'd say that's pretty close.
Doesn't need to be exactly on that line, but as long as it's pretty close, you should have no problem.
Now, what I normally do is I take the wet towel out, make sure everything's dry first. Take the wet towel out and I put a dry towel down for a little while just to make sure that when I come back later that the towel's still dry, then I know I have no more leaks.
Because maybe there's a leak that isn't noticeable right away.
It might be a seep. Then you put the top back on the tank and you're all finished.
There you go. Replacing the filter. Why does it keep calling it filter? Replacing the
fill
valve. Fill valve.
Yep.
On the toilet.
Now remember, in Immortal Worlds of Red-Green, if the women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy.